All right, John, welcome in. Ryan Tringer for your Class A Pro recording. Good to have you, buddy. Looking forward to work today. So, athletic position, this seems pretty athletic. We want the armpits through the knees, through the toes. So, let's take a look. Yep, you're doing that. And you'll see that also here with me, how my armpits go through my knees, through my toes. Let's see here. Obviously, I'm a little closer to the ball, but it's all dependent on your build. So, I'm not even really worried about this. Is definitely a better setup position. Now, let's look at our body lines as usual, and we'll check the swing plane also so we can see what's happening here. And so I'm going to put some lines here and like this. Okay. All right, now let's see here. So you start taking it back here. Okay, so in the takeaway, you're taking it a little bit too far on the inside. And so you'll see here when I take the club back, see how I go back straighter back, right? So what that means is in the take back, your plane is going that way a little early, and you need to still go what's called straight back, right? Because the club's behind your hands here instead of out in front of your hands a little bit. Are you with me on that? Okay, we call this keeping the club in front of you. Just a quick a tip on that real fast. Watch this. We go to McElroy, and we see his takeaway tip here. Watch this.
Roy, and this is my favorite swing thought. For me, I think one of the biggest keys in my swing is making sure that the club stays in front of my body on the way back. So anytime, if I keep the club in front of me here, that just makes the rest of the swing a lot easier. Sometimes if the club gets behind me early, then it makes it more difficult.
So you can see here, we want to get that club going straight back, so a little bit more straight back. Now at this moment though, look, your head and your hip and all very good. We're all good there. Okay, now let's see as you continue up. Now at this moment, you're looking better here. You're getting the club going up the plane and working the toe up. So you got the toe up. You can see I'm just a little bit more upright, as we say, a little bit more straight back with the takeaway. Okay, then let's get up here to the top of the swing here and see what happened here at the top. Okay, so here we are at the top. Now, you can see my arms are a little bit more stretched out. You kind of get your arms a little bit short versus keeping them extended. That's not too much of a problem, though. It's not as big of a deal. What's more important is whether or not on the way down you swing from inside out and how you do with your balance. So let me go like this a moment. Let me see here. Okay. All right, now on the way down, you can see the plane for you is still over top here. Do you see the plane? Okay, now watch this. When I'm bringing it down, watch how my club is going to shallow. Do you see how I'm shallowing out here? And so we need to get that plane still more on the as it is the inside out path here. So let me see here. So a little bit more straight back. So straight back, inside out more. Okay. All right. Then as you continue down here to the impact area, see how my rear stays on this line, my head's in that position. When you're coming down still, your balance is still going toward the ball also. Do you see how your rear comes forward? Now it's less than before, but you're still coming through. You see how you're through the line here, just or forward of the line there a bit, off the back line. So we still need a little bit more swing path and rear line training, we would call it, right? So the rear line more. So that's more chair practice, right? Now let's take a look here as we come through the ball and see what happens as we go through the ball here. And so see how through the shot, I'll stay in that posture and my butt stays back and my head stays down. Now let's see here as you come through your shot here. Let's see. Okay, so your head position's improved, but you can see that your hip could still be further back, right? So on the side view here, what we've got is we've got to do more practice on your swing plane and your rear line, but you've definitely made progress on it. It's definitely better than it was, which is great. And so let me send this to you. One second, John.
I didn't know I was supposed to stretch my arms out up top like that. I thought it was.
Oh yeah, we haven't got to that yet. That's a whole. You'll see it from the face on view in a second. That's like icing on top. That's like the detail of like tiling and like curtains. Like once you've gotten the other basics down. So yeah, it's called having more width in the swing, which you'll see here in a moment when we look at the front view.
I want to say that I used to have more of that.
Okay.
Now with the work we're doing,
Uh huh.
I felt like I was supposed to be, chicken wing and tighter and coming down through.
On the downswing, yes, not in the backswing though.
Okay.
So on the backswing, we want to go wide. You'll see it here in this example from the face on view, because we're gonna look at the crescent moon. and see what's happening with our crescent moon, right? So here we go. So let's see here. So you go back like this. All right. And then in my take back here, you'll see. So see how when I take it back, how I go really wide, right? So look, I'm reaching out super wide here. So what I mean is, see how there's all this space in here? That's called the width of the swing. And so see how you could go wider, right, in the backswing here. Now, as we continue up here, let's continue back to the top of the swing so you can see this part. And I'll do the same for you as well. And so there we go. All right. And then let's go over here. Let's trace the club head. Okay. So you can see you're doing better on the head position. Notice that my head's even a little left of where it started, right? That's a better thing to do than to have the head go too far to the right. You're close. You still could be more left with your head. You see this? Look, just a little bit more of the head left. So I would say from this viewpoint, we could go what's called low and slower, wider takeaway, and then the head more left or toward the target, you could say. Now, on the way down, let's take a look and see what happens on the way down. Here we go. So on the way down, we're trying to get this crescent moon. Again, this is something we haven't worked on really yet. We're still just working on swing plane. So here you get your elbow in nice. That's good for the downswing. It's just that the backswing had to be wider going back. The downswing, your elbow was in nice. And here you are at the impact area. Now let's take a look here. As I'm bringing it down, you'll see that my narrowing of my arc is quite significant to get that bigger crescent moon, right? And you can see here also that my head, again, is more to the left, right? So what we need is we need your head. See how my head's leaning this way versus back that way? So that means your head has to lean left or tilt left that way. Because your head on the downswing is tilting to the right on the way down. Okay, so let me just see here when you come through the ball, what's happening with the club face. And so let's see. Oh, you're doing better on that face angle. Look at that. The club face looks pretty steady, John, right? And you could extend more at the very end, but you know the that's overall better. And you can see my face angles too stable there, and then how I extend out at the end. Again, though, look where my head is, more to the left. Okay, so what we're going to work on is we got to work on head position, the rear line, the takeaway being straighter back, right, and then more inside out. See, the reason my arc is so large like this is because of me doing more straight back, because that makes it wide, and then more inside out, that makes it narrower. Are you with me?
Well,
Okay.
now that it's going to be real